although it's lovely to end with a win, I think the feeling today for me this morning is relief. I'm going to be honest. I feel far more relieved. Not only that the fact that we won against Ipswich, which I think was needed. We wanted to end on a positive note, but I think the fact that this season's now done is a huge relief for everybody because it has been such a long, horrible slog. And it's just been one of them seasons, I think, that's just been so underwhelming because of the promise that we went into it with. There's such a busy summer and such a high expectation for sort of like this new chapter, and it just never landed. And like many, I've just been longing for this season to end. Of course, we've had to be. It's just been obviously filled with so much drama, isn't it? With player injuries and Antonio situation, Paqueta. We've had to endure a lot. We've now had to watch Tottenham lift a bloody trophy. It's just all these things. It's just one of them seasons. I'm just so glad to see the back of. So at least it ended on a positive note. I don't want to go through everything, but I mean, I want to talk about the game. I was going to do this yesterday, but we weren't able to because of the technical issue. So it was a bit frustrating. So hence why it's now this morning. But it wasn't the most exciting of games. I'm going to be honest. It was a game that looked like what it was, which was the end of the season. West Ham really not much to play for. Ipswich obviously already relegated. It felt like that. Players, I feel like, that are clearly on their way as well at West Ham. I felt like that quite a lot. I'm going to do another video later because I'm really unhappy with a few of the performances I saw yesterday and just kind of an indication of where this club is at the moment and the problems we've got with players and the kind of how they're going about their business at the moment. So, but I'll talk about that a little bit separately because I don't want this to be negative. I really don't. As I say, I feel like after such a horrible long slog this season, it is nice to end on a win and just breathe a little bit and go, right, now we can start to move forward and not look back at all because I do not want to be thinking about the season at all anymore. But look, it was an interesting game in terms of, when I say it wasn't an interesting game, actually, it was quite a dull affair. But in terms of what happened in the game, in terms of the goals, obviously 4 goals in total. The first came from a mistake from Ipswich, basically gifted us possession. I think it was Morsey who basically passed the ball back across goal, and it was nipped in by JARROD BOWEN, who, by the way, although he wasn't as involved as I think as much as he wanted to be yesterday, when he was just so effective, and he picked up the ball lovely and just squared it across to James Ward-Prowse, and who just fired it into sort of an empty net. I've got to say, although when you look back at it, you kind of think, well, it was just an easy goal. I actually thought we took it really well, and it was just one of those that highlighted Premier League quality over what Ipswich have got, which is really a Championship side. You just get punished at this level, one mistake like that, bang, goal. So well taken, though, great goal. Good finish from James Ward-Prowse, put us 1-0 up, which was decent. Went in at half time, 1-0 up, and I thought, okay. As I say, it wasn't the most exciting of affairs. It wasn't as if we were dominating. It was just a bit of a scrappy game, really. And then they levelled. I've got to be honest, and this is what I'm going to talk about a bit later, so I don't want to focus too much on this, but the defending was absolutely shocking from West Ham. It was Broadhead who scored the goal. It was a good strike from him, to be fair, but the defending in terms of us trying to block the shots, and I'm going to call out to Debo in this one, who basically sort of just gave up. He just went down on one knee, and I don't know what he was actually trying to do. But yeah, really, really poor from a West Ham perspective. It was very much almost like a kickabout feel to it when we were defending that, as if it just didn't matter. It was like we were not really interested in trying to block the shot. It was really disappointing, actually. I appreciate it's the end of the season and whatnot, but you play for West Ham. You want to see more, and we wanted to end that game on a high. So, end the season on a high, and end that game with a win, end the season with a win, and go there and get 3 points. So, I'm really disappointed. I just didn't like what I saw at all. As I say, I'm going to talk about it a bit more later, but yeah, really frustrating. And then we responded straight away. It was a goal a couple of minutes later from JARROD BOWEN. Absolutely beautiful strike from Bowen from the outside of the box. He cuts inside, just typical Bowen, and fires this shot of his left-hand boot. And I think the goalkeeper should have done better. I will be honest. It was not don't get me wrong. It was a very good strike at goal, but I think a better goalkeeper probably would have dealt with it a bit and would have put their hand on it and possibly pushed it outside for a corner, maybe. I don't know, but I'm not taking anything away from Bowen because it was a great strike and got us obviously 2-1 up. And then Kudus wrapped it up with the third, which was a lovely finish, to be fair. Again, it had that feel about it of them not really trying so much. and also just the difference in quality. Like you could just sense it. The players around him, he was just so much better than them. He cut inside and fired. Lovely shot into the bottom or sort of the middle of the goal, into the left hand corner of the goal. Yeah, look, it was. It was nice. It was a nice way to end the season. It's, as I say, it's been such a horrid campaign, isn't it? And so tiring and draining on our mental health. I think that it's just nice to have that sort of draw a line and now just move forward. And it felt like that a bit yesterday, and I felt like that with a lot of the players. Actually, I kind of got the sense that was their last game for West Ham. I think Potter has kind of tried, I think, at times possibly to play down the enormity of the task coming up. Although we'll talk about that again in a minute, because he did make some comments after the game. But I just felt that when you watched that game yesterday, you could sense a lot of these players know that this is their last game for West Ham. And I must say, I was really disappointed with the way West Ham did the whole send-offs for a lot of these players at London Stadium, especially Creswell and Soufal on the final home game against Forest. I felt that I was expecting a bit more, actually. And I thought that the whole, like, when they said to everyone, make sure you're at your seats by 2:00 because we're going to be doing a sort of farewell ceremony for a few of the players. I was expecting quite something a little bit special, but I thought they got it really wrong. It just didn't really happen. And I appreciate it's because we've had a really bad season. But I was disappointed. I actually felt that we handled it better away from home, which sort of been the story of this season, isn't it? It feels like away from home, especially under Graham Potter, our away form has been a lot better. It seems a lot more enjoyable. The performances have been better. There have been better results, and just everything's felt a bit more connected. Whereas at home, it doesn't feel like that at all at the moment. I think that's one thing West Ham really do need to focus on and get better. We're going to be talking about that. I know that I've done some videos regarding the wall at London Stadium. I don't want you to think that that's been forgotten. In fact, it's far from it now. We're going for the next phase of this. That's going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to keep you informed with that. But we've got a lot more people involved now. Which is really helping us, and it's getting bigger than just the wall as well. So I will talk about that a bit more when that all comes a little bit clearer, but that's going to be very, very soon. So yeah, I actually thought that the sort of send-off for certain players, Fabianski, I've loved the fact that Potter started Fabianski, and he played the whole game. I thought that was a really good touch from him. And I've talked about it in the build-up that Potter's not reading the room, and talked about it as well with Gonzo, that I just feel like sometimes he's missing the point. But I actually thought he got it right in this game. He got players, brought Creswell on as well, which I thought was really nice. Gave him the captain's armband as well. It was just something, there was a real nice touch to that yesterday. And I'm really proud of it. I'm really pleased that they got it right, because it did annoy me, actually, the way it went down, unfolded at London Stadium. It didn't feel very good and very pleasant. I thought it could have been a lot better. So it actually felt better yesterday. I feel like there's the players that walked away now feeling pretty pleased with how that unfolded. And then Graham Potter spoke after the game. So, as I've said, he's kind of not played it down, but I think he's not going to come out, is he, to the press and say, yeah, we're getting rid of loads of players. He's going to have to sort of be a bit careful. But I actually felt now the season's done, he can be a little bit more open, which he was. And basically suggested, yeah, this is a really busy time now for the club, and there's going to be, and he said the word exciting. He thinks it's going to be an exciting summer for the club. I really hope it is the case. Do you know what? I just want to, before I wrap this video up, I do want to mention something. It's been on my mind the last couple of weeks, and it's come to my attention, sort of brought forward from sort of memories, really. I remember, I think it was back in 2019, that time, and it was a season, we finished 16th in the Premier League that season. It was the season we brought David Moyes back. So we had a really crappy season. We brought in Pellegrini. It just, the way, the way that season unfolded really has very similar attributes to how this season's unfolded. So we brought in Pellegrini with this new exciting chapter, and this is going to be us, and we're going to be this possession-based, exciting football team, and all that kind of stuff we were expecting, and with a manager that's won the Premier League, blah 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 blah. We did all this stuff, right? And we brought some new players in, and it just didn't work, did it? We were really poor and really, really struggled. And then we had to bring back David Moyes, and I remember feeling so flat and so deflated. And I remember I was actually in Bournemouth at the time, and I was with the family, and we had Norwich away. One of the games, I think it was like the third from last game. We won 4-0, and Antonio scored all 4 goals. And I remember thinking at that time, when we won that game, because we'd had such a crappy season, I hope this is a sign of things to come. I hope that this is now going to be we can turn a bit of a chapter, because we did pick up some points under Moyes to keep us up. We stayed up relatively safely in the end. So we finished 16th. So a couple of places lower than we are now. And then the second season, that season after that, we finished sixth. We had a really good season. So a part of me is really hoping that we are on that might be a sign of things to come. I'm not saying that it's going to be as good as that, but I really do hope that this is going to be, we've hit the rock bottom now, this where we are, and we're going to start seeing a turn. I really do hope so, because it's something that's sort of played my mind. I just feel there's a lot of similarities to that period. So yeah, I'm not suggesting that we're going to be finishing sixth next season at all. I think we're in for a real, big summer. But I do hope that we are going to start to turn a bit of a corner as a football club. I really hope so, because it has been a real slog, hasn't it? And really underwhelming. And Potter's indication from his press conferences after the game and stuff was that we're in for a busy summer. Him and Kyle Corley have been working hard, and this is now the focus. So it's going to be very, very busy now. But as fans, it's just nice to have a little bit of a break now, breather. I think as fans, we need it. I think we need to have a break from West Ham, because it has been that tough. And yeah, so I'm just really relieved. I'm really relieved. Woke up this morning. It's nice, isn't it? And what a nice feeling to see Tottenham sitting in 17th as well. I mean, my word, that 4-1 defeat as well was quite funny to watch. And of course, Manchester United, a bit annoying that they got a result, but we still finished above them and above Wolves in the end. So it's 14th. It's where Potter took over from. He took us over and we were 14th, but we had a minus 16 goal difference, and now we've still got the same. So effectively, we've sort of ended on a nil, all square goal difference in terms of being under Potter. So he has improved the defence. There's no two ways about it. I feel like we have improved overall as a team. It's not been wonderful. It's not been exciting. It's not been great, but I'd like to hope that there are some foundations that we can build on and push forward, because my word, we need to. We need to push forward as a football club. And let's hope that once we come back a little bit more recharged and we start seeing things that we like on the pitch, then we can get behind the team next season and really go for it, because it's been a tough slog, isn't it? Really tough. And yeah, I feel it. I feel it with all of you, really, to be honest with you. And I'm just like many this morning. It's just nice now to just breathe and think, right, don't have to worry about that anymore, and just enjoy the fact we finished about Tottenham. I don't know how the flow we have, but we have somehow. But have a good one. Have a video later on. I want to talk about a few of the players I've said. But enjoy the rest of your bank holiday weekend, and no more football. The season is done. Thank bloody God. Come on, you irons.